Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Strictly Art Live number 92. I'm your host, Rob Wilson. I am a comic book artist, among various other talents. I'd like to welcome you. It is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. We're here at 9 a.m. time slot, and we're going to try to make this pretty cool, short and sweet. I'm going to work on some different artwork from what you've seen me work on in the past. I'll be inking some twins, part of my comic book character roster list. And hopefully everyone's doing well. I know the weather's changing, sickness may be coming along for some people and stuff. I know I've been on the Theraflu kick to keep it away. And mosquitoes are off the chain. The mosquitoes are really off the chain. So we got a couple things to cover. As far as shows, we just got Kaiju number 8, season 2, episode 8 to cover. We're going to have conversations about productivity and the importance of drawing what you love. Encouraging everyone to stay inspired and passionate about their art, because this is Strictly Art Live and this is what we talk about. We talk about brainstorming, creative ideas, ways to improve your craft in this ever-changing world. Also, we're going to talk about Marvel Rivals. More summertime skins are on the way. You got Angela, you got Daredevil, all that kind of good stuff. So I tried to get out the game, but they pulled me back in. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And my ever-growing roster of characters to rotate in between during matches, which obviously, if you're competitive, the more versatile of characters you can switch to when needed to win the match, the higher your chances of possibly winning. So that's what I hear a lot of pros talk about. So I'll apply that to myself as well. I try to keep my team separate, but you got to keep them all rotating in. I would like to talk a little bit about this movie that was recommended to me by Levi Skeen, fellow comic book artist, called Don't Look Up. I had to renew my Netflix account to check it out. And it's an interesting movie. I'll talk about how I did not like it in the beginning and how it really was very informational towards the middle and how it was very impactful to me at the end. So we'll cover the 3 aspects of that movie. I thought it was just, comedic nonsense. I was clearly wrong. So we got all that to cover. And we're going to go ahead and get this party started. I'll be a little more hype by the time we hear my favorite song, my new intro to the show, Red Alert Baby. So let's get ready.
Miami's hot, the stars went cold. We lost the line, we broke the mold. No fleet, no orders, just the glow of crew cut loose with nowhere to go. Red and flips his collar. Saxophone crimes just make him baller. DNA learns to cry in loops. Macho cape flex through the troops. Madame Troy, she sips and sees all your trauma in the breeze. Red alert, baby. Red alert, baby. Make it glow. Make it so. Where the crude time try to bury. Still too bright, too wild to go. Red alert, baby. Make it
Golly, that Kirk coming off the plane is too much. I don't know if I could watch that every show. I mean, it's just too good. I think it's actually too good for my live stream. It's way too much fun. Oh my gosh. Every time I see it. In fact, I was at work and I showed it to a coworker, and he spotted Captain Janeway. And I was like, oh, holy crap. I didn't even realize that was her. So there's still more characters to unravel in that great video. I've heard and seen, a lot of people like the Trailer Park Star Trek. I mean, it's comedic, but it's, to me, this one, greatest of all time. Absolute greatest of all time to me. Everything. I remember somebody in the comments said AI thought GTA Vice City and Star Trek were bros. I mean, they clearly did it. They clearly processed it very well. All right, so let's go ahead and get the party started here. We're going to go ahead and cover Kaiju number 8, Season 2, Episode 8. The episode focuses on Kafka Hibino's internal struggles as his friend Reno Ichikawa is granted permission to participate in the main battle against Kaiju number 9 using the powerful numbers weapon 6, which puts Reno's life at significant risk and increases Kafka's anxiety about his role and the consequences of his Kaiju number 8 transformation. A pivotal moment occurs when Vice Captain Soshiro Hoshina, previously known for his comedic behavior, appears serious and trains Kafka. Before all that, bro, they continue the battle where Reno and his buddy, the red-haired dude, freaking fight the giant kaiju in the forest. Reno is heavily injured; he could barely move, but his buddy shows up, and that they have that like team up synergy, and that reinvigorates him. In the process, they also the captain that's assessing them finds out that Reno's buddy has the ability to increase his fighting power when he focuses. So it would go up, it would be a 21%, then when he focused, it would be a 41%. Then when he lost focus, it would drop back down to the 20s. So that team up was absolutely amazing. They got the work done. Reno's buddy punched a hole deep enough his electric rounds in order to expose the core of the kaiju, and Reno took the kill shot. So it was great. It was absolutely great. We learned a lot. They both passed, and might I note on captivating part, there was a very well-timed set of emotional strings violin playing in that episode after they had won. It was great. It almost reminded me of shades of was it Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Very, very good timing for that, I might add. So yeah, Soshiro, he trains Kafka. They go toe to toe, just in human form, at a shrine in which obviously Kafka doesn't win, but he wants to train him in hand-to-hand combat so he can last a little bit longer without having to use Kaiju number 8, since he has limited amounts of time that he can use that great Kaiju. But upon them completing the training, at least for that session, Kafka even now notices a Ronin-like figure in the shrine. He couldn't figure out what it was, but it seemed on the zoom in that it was either a type of ghost watching their battle. So I actually hope that that is brought up again, so we can maybe find out what secrets that shrine holds. So there you go. That's a very easy summary for you. I enjoyed the episode. I thought episode number 8 was actually going to be all about Kaiju number 8. Significance 8, make it happen. But it was very good. You had a conclusion of one section, trial by fire, and you had the start of new training. It's a great show. So I just remembered that there is another thing going on. I'm going to get back to this in just a moment. Like I said, these are the twins that I created. They're cybernetically enhanced, hence the markings on the face and the arms. They'll be mercenaries in future causes. So again, with VKP, there's going to be a period of the old world that will exist and introduce some main characters there, and then there will be a new world that will exist, which will bring those old world characters into the new and introduce them to other new characters. So I do have an announcement, and I'm not going as a art vendor. I am going to enjoy some long overdue vacation. But I think this is the convention that started it all for me. And it wasn't, well, obviously, growing up, my pops took me to Jubilee conventions. The first one I went to when I was a kid. It was in Silver Spring, Maryland. It was pretty fun. And that's back when Comic-Cons were really small. They were a showroom, maybe a showroom, maybe 150 feet long. Yeah, I'm kind of exaggerating, but a little bit longer than that. But in my adulthood, back in my 20s, I think back when it first started, something that was local in the area that I got involved in attending, which was Anime USA. And Anime USA was predominantly, it says for otakus, made by otakus, or of otaku, by otaku, and for otaku. So people that love anime, that kind of thing. I get it. Different communities have their segregated divisions. Some people like anime, some people like comics, some people like both. And there's nothing wrong with liking both. So I'll be going coming up October 10th to the 12th, just as an attendee. Would love to have done this one and Baltimore Comic-Con. I can't do both. But as you see, we do have, there's a number of guests from voice actors to many other things and artists or whatnot. So I think it'll be pretty fun. It's been fun. Every time I've attended it, it's been fun. And yeah, we got artists, dealers rooms, guests, gaming, different programming panels. So that is something I'll be into um, coming up. Anime music videos. I remember they have those, and you cannot take pictures at all in those. So, but yeah, like I said, have fun. I've had fun every year I've attended. So I do look forward to going to that soon, next month. So, moving on, let's talk a little bit about productivity. So, if you're new to this live stream or channel, because we're streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, IG, and Rumble, one thing that I've always emphasized is finding inspiration. And one of the ways that I do that is very simple. I watch different forms of media, things that may be interesting to me. I was a follower of the MCU. I followed it closely for the first 10 years. I could tell you damn near any and all things about it, even some theories that never got resolved, some questions that never got answered. I still hold them close in the minor details. So, with that, and obviously, I watch American animation, I watch fan made animation and films, and as you just saw, I'm a big fan of just this one AI video called Red Alert Baby. So I followed many different mediums of creativity, and I have a great respect for it because it takes a lot, especially if you're independent. Let me know if you've ever seen Logan the Wolf, Wolverine during Norse mythology times. It was absolutely amazing. Some of the stuff is better than what Hollywood is putting out. My point is that I watch all these different forms to see the things that I like and pick those things up. If there's something I like, I often wonder how can I incorporate it into my level of production for what I'm creating. At my own pace, because obviously I don't have a whole studio to do what it is that I like to do and create what I want. So I have to be realistic with my goals. But that does not mean shutting off or cutting off means of inspiration. Inspiration helps you keep going. Even when you start to question, why am I still doing this? So one of the things back when the MCU was great, I used to do, I was very specific on buying like the Blu-rays of the MCU movies because they had the Marvel one-shots, something they don't do anymore. They had the behind the scenes, the research that they did to get to the production that they wanted, because back then they actually, read the comics, did the backstory, and the actors would actually talk about those characters, their connections to them, and what they went through in order to become the character. They don't do that these days, DC or Marvel, so it's a bit of a shame. Now, that basically you pay for the Blu-ray. You paid for the behind the scenes stuff, so why not utilize those things that are there to help inspire you to continue doing what you're doing? Obviously, if you've worked in the industry, you already know how to do all that. You've done it, you made a name for yourself, and you're just chilling. I get it. Some of us no desire to work for the industry. But that doesn't mean we we're not willing to take the time out to learn. Obviously, some people that have really big names, they create master classes in music production, in art production, in animation production, which you can pay for those classes as well. You know, Being able to watch behind the scenes and some of that stuff, if you can comprehend it fairly well, those are great opportunities to maximize what you're observing, what you're hearing, and with how they do things, with how you can on a decent budget. Obviously, a lot of the big CGI scenes in the MCU were green screened. Green screens are not expensive. You get your Muslim blanket off of Amazon. I had a studio set up before in my last place, and it worked out fairly well. I've did some video editing using back when I used Photoshop and After Effects and all that, and now it's even easier because AI with video editing can do auto motion tracking for you without you having to have the suit, the dots, the makeup even, and all that kind of stuff. So as technology advances, production becomes easier access to the public. That way, as Jon Favreau, and I always go back to this, during one of those old MCU red carpets, Jon Favreau always says, yeah, you don't have to wait for someone to tell you you're good. You can just go out and make it yourself. And we've seen that on many levels in the independent scene. You have comic books, you got crowdfunding and all that great stuff. You got websites that you can have built. You have websites that are available to help you get your products out. You got print companies, all that kind of stuff. So the production level is much easier to access than the whole Diamond Comics thing. None shall pass unless they go through Diamond, that kind of thing. Those days are gone. So I would definitely say always be open to many different forms. Many times I've mentioned to people about print on demand for the comics. It has been easily dismissible by many people because, hey, crowdfunding's a thing. It's hip until it's not, for some people. But me personally, I have done print on demand. I've had my storefront up for years. And now I'm actually ready to move forward with producing more comics and having them available as print on demand. No big crowdfunding events until I have enough stuff that I deem worthy of crowdfunding. And then once the crowdfunding is there, hey, I can go ahead and just get the print there. I already got print on demand, so and then I can add stuff like some new bookmarks that I just showed on my Twitter, and those came out really good from the John Fairchild character that I was creating. In fact, let me go ahead and show that to you now. Hopefully I don't get bombarded by something crazy on X. Because X is X, Or go straight to it. I'll go ahead and show you these bookmarks. Because I got a lot of comics, a lot of like multi-issue comics, like those graphic novels from quite a few campaigns. And I I don't normally have time to watch them all read them all in one sitting. So I found myself needing a bookmark, and that's exactly what I did. I got a set of bookmarks from Canva, uploaded it, and took them about what 2 weeks, maybe? Yeah, 2 weeks, and they came out very well, very well. I think I got 8 total. So yeah, these came out very good. It showed just enough of the picture, exactly like I wanted when I was working on the layout before, I paid for it, had it shipped. It had the bleed area on the website of Canva, and that informed me of how much I wanted to zoom in, and kept it pretty good. Pretty good. Came out very well, I think. So that's that. Let's get back to the art. So yeah, I have to always emphasize production does not need to be at the same level as everybody else. Sure, that would be great, and it would be even greater that there would be a one website for all comics. But that's not the case, and you got to do what works for you and stay inspired, man. That's one thing. That's the other thing I wanted to cover too, as far as inspiration. If you've been doing this for a long time, I get it. I get it. It becomes a routine. You know how to do it. You can knock out XYZ, and then you can small talk because you know how to move pretty quick. But like, are you watching anything that is inspiring you enough to say, "Oh man, that tugged on my heartstrings. I wonder if I could produce something like that to give out the same or similar desired outcome to my audience." I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how passionate some people feel about some of the things they watch. I know people talk about, X-Men, Chris Claremont run, all that stuff all the time. But I mean, like, sometimes do you go outside of your comfort zone for some shows or movies or forms of entertainment? You know, there are quite a few books that I've gone out of my comfort zone to check out. Just give it a chance. You never know. But I think the level of comfort in saying, "Hey, this is what I like. This is what I've been watching, so I'm gonna just stick to it this way." I think that can sometimes hinder growth for an artist. I mean, does an artist truly max out in his or her lifetime? Or is it that they find a comfortable level to where they want to be recognized for their style and just roll with that? Are there any moments where you look at an image and instead of critiquing it, you actually start to imagine the world to which you see this art, or you start to be inspired to create something similar? Almost like, y'all remember that scene in The Immortals where the kid was at the end, he was looking at the statue, and Zeus in his old man form showed up, uh, talking to him about the statue. I think it was of Theseus, and the boy closed his eyes, and he literally had the vision of seeing Theseus and all his buddies and gods and titans all fighting together at the same time. And he opened his eyes, surprised. He was like, "Oh!" You ever have those kind of moments, as an artist? I'm just curious. Do you have the vision? I know sometimes to get inspired, I will take kava leaf tea. It induces and promotes lucid dreaming. And sometimes, man, I dream of some amazing movie scenes, scenarios, crazy stuff. I think I've mentioned this to y'all before when I was on deployment. One time I had kava leaf tea, went to sleep, and I woke up. I told my battle buddy, I was like, dude, I just had a dream that the Ghostbusters teamed up with the U.S. Army to take on the undead, resurrected Ming Dynasty. I'm talking about giant proton pack cannons on Humvees. You know how crazy of a movie that would have been? That would have been nuts. You know what I'm saying? So I often have to ask that question because I don't know if a draftsman dreams, has that vision of creative ideas and all that, compared to just the artist in his or her purest form. Does a draftman dream? That's a question I'd really like to get answered. You know what I mean? Does he have that ability to dive into a world just by observing something? You know what I mean? Is his perception truly larger than life? You know, um, I get it. Commercial artists are probably considered more draftsmen, and they're just producing what a client asks. Perfectly reasonable. You know what I mean? Um, but for the pure-hearted artist that has the vision of things, I mean, another example, H.R. Geiger. He said he drew out, grotesque things because it gave him power over those things. You know what I mean? So those are the type of things and questions I often ask, not just myself, but others. Who else out there has the vision? Who else out there can look at an image and instead of just, oh, well, this isn't symmetrical or this is off or, oh no, tangent lines, you know what I mean? Um, those kind of things, instead of just that, you know, the textbook responses, who out there sees an image and then they start to hear battle cries? They start to hear um, the voice of a courageous leader. They start to hear the diabolical laugh of an antagonist just from looking at an image. I don't think everybody that draws has that ability. It is a rare ability. Some people have used mind altering methods. I don't promote that, but some people have used mind altering methods to get them there. Nonetheless, they do get there. You know what I mean? So, not just quirky jokes, doing something highly violating and just for a quick laugh. I'm talking about the vision. Who out there has the shine? You ever seen Stephen King's The Shining? Who has the shine? Not everybody has the shine. Some people lose the shine. But nonetheless, I believe the shine exists, especially for artists. And again, not everyone has it, but the shine allows you to stay inspired because you still have that childhood innocence and imagination. The imagination is a powerful thing. Some people have it on a surface level, I think some people have it on a truly profound level to where they're able to comprehend the existence of other realities, even if it's just manifesting it on paper. How deep does your creativity truly go? And these are things I ponder all the time. I try not to talk much about it because it's like, ooh, it sounds crazy. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But that's the core philosophical questions of reality itself, of humanity. You gotta understand, like, one of the first and only conversations I had with a very popular person of the industry was Larry Hama. He was at the first ever, um, which one is it? He was at the first ever, uh, was it not All Star Comic Con, but Awesome Con? He was at the first ever Awesome Con. And I asked him for advice, and he broke down the concept of storytelling going back to cave drawings, the significance of storytelling. I think that needs to be reemphasized over and over and over to make sure that comic books, music, um, different forms of media, videos, those kind of things truly have amazing purposes behind them. Now, I get it, not everything can be golden, but there's a reason why entertainment and escapism can come to some very profound conclusions. This is the very reason why fans of a type of show get so passionate in discussion about it, because it pulls in a perception of reality that's different from, the mundane, different from the system. And I think that's very helpful. Very helpful. All right, I think I've ranted all I could about that. People are probably tired of it too, so that's all right. That's all right. Hey, artist journey. You may meet many, many captains, but you got to choose your shipmates. All right, so moving on. Let's see here. Yes, Marvel Rivals. Here, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break, take a restroom break, and I advise do the same. Take a smoke break, drink break, coffee break, whatever kind of break that you need. I know it's still early for those of you that are working, so probably not lunchtime for you yet. If you're not watching this live, catch the replay. Either way, I highly thank you. But I'll be right back, and when I do, we're gonna get into some Marvel Rivals talk. All right, stay chilly. All right, we are back. What is that? Okay, there we go. All right, so Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals. As I mentioned last show, I was ready to go ahead and hang up my boots. They were getting heavy. I was getting tired of getting beaten down, or a hit or miss, or people throwing the game and all that kind of stuff. But I have a pretty huge roster of people that I like to play, people that I know I can play. So I have my rivals, which is Adam Warlock. I don't know why he can't fly yet. Please, NetEase, make Adam Warlock fly, please. I mean, some of his animations allow him to do so. I don't understand. But Adam Warlock, Groot, Emma Frost, Invisible Woman, Iron Man, Human Torch. Is there one more? I think that's all of them. Yeah. So basically, the 6 were 2 from every group, every character type. 2 vanguards, 2 duelists, and 2 strategists. Now on the second tier side, I got the tryouts, which is Luna Snow, freaking Hela, and I can never remember that third person. Shame on me. Luna Snow, Hela, and damn, I guess I ain't been using her lately. Oh, Phoenix. So I finally start adding more people to that because Scarlet Witch, I tried using her when I first started. I wasn't any good, so I got away from her. But now I'm familiar with the game and how characters roll. And plus 2, I finally found a costume I like of hers. And get this, she can fly. But Adam Warlock can't until he dies. Make it make sense. NetEase, make it happen. I need Adam Warlock, the flying healer, extraordinaire. That's what I need. It would be a great help, and it would make sense. If you're turning Daredevil into a Super Saiyan with a double trigger, or basically a Kuma, then I need Adam Warlock to fly, please. You know what I'm saying? Help a brother out. I've been loyal Adam Warlock since day one. Not too happy you guys made him a healer, but I'm still in the fight with the dude. Trying to get as much DPS as I can off of him for the team. I'm not just a healer that stands there. I'll be trying to put in some work, man. That's what I tried to do. So, yeah, I added more characters to that. And with Johnny Storm, I think I don't like most of his. Well, the one I don't like is the Cosmic Gladiator. I don't really like that skin. I do like, however, the upcoming, beach skin that he's about to have. That looks fun. What else? And Sue Storm has one coming out too, so I'll look forward to that. I didn't like the Future Foundation costume of hers, and I don't like the what's it called? Her where she turns evil, Malice. I don't like that one either. I would very much like to have those emotes and taunts, but I'm not willing to pay for a bundle just to get them. Let's just keep that in mind. But Angela, I do look forward to playing as her in the game. See what she's got. Um, Still waiting on Sentry. See, I'm a simple man. Give me Sentry. Give me Adam Warlock's ability to fly. It would be great. I'm happy then. There we go. We got some Twitch activity. Usual suspects. But yeah, those very simple things I think would be a great help. And from what I've heard, you guys start creating new abilities, even on some classic characters. Even Groot can create a fifth wall, something like that. Wow, with the team up of Mantis, yeah, walls everywhere. Deck the halls with Groot walls. Fa la 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 la. You know, but yeah, switching in Marvel Rivals has been a big help in having a good roster to choose from when the situation is required. Emma Frost's greatest weakness is her range. She's limited by range, so being able to switch to Groot that has longer range and walls and higher defense than hers is a great benefit. Sometimes I've won matches just off of that. And based on my previous experience, I noticed every time I start live streaming, I start getting really bad beatdown sessions, like somebody stream sniping. But I'm not that important. I'm just joking. Um, but yeah, alternating between the quick play and the AI matches are a good switch up, because if there's like a new character in the AI matches, I can practice with them that way and still win something. Now that I've seen Angela's work, I am eager to see Daredevil. Let the devil out. I see he got them hands like Iron Fist. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about right there. Because apparently he put them hands on Angela and she started flying back. She didn't want to fight him up close no more. So I'm eager to see where that goes. Marvel Rivals is a game. It's a great game, but love-hate relationship depending on who you play with, who you team up with, whether they're loyal to the cause. If not, it can be the worst nightmare. A very annoying headache. And the fact that you gotta hope that you got a good team, people that are in it to win it and not in it to throw it, it can be stressful. But like I said, that's why I don't play competitive. I stay in my own little box, my own little heaven, collect my own little points, and get whatever accessories I might like that way. So the game is still fun to me. Oh, and that's the other thing too. I'm hearing season 5 is already leaked. I like Rogue. I like Gambit, but I think to overlook Cyclops, since you already introduced a Phoenix, is a bad move. To overlook the Sentry, even though Thunderbolts isn't that good, but they pushed hard for Fantastic Four, rightfully so in the game. But the reason why they pushed hard for him was because they had a movie coming out. Yeah, the game and the movie are not the same. You know what I'm saying? I highly doubt someone saw that movie and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play Marvel Rivals now." I highly doubt it. If anything, people see the movie first and be like, "Oh, there's a game with the Fantastic Four in it." Hell no, because if it's anything like that trashy ass movie, I ain't playing that. Who knows? Who knows? Marvel's winning right now as far as Marvel Rivals. That's about it. So that's one of the things I'm wondering because okay, if we're doing promotion of movies for game stuff in game skin, we got the Punisher. What was it Punisher? Freaking what's the damn thing? The Punisher skin from the Netflix show. With John Berthal. That's out there, and Fantastic Four. They got all four of them got their costumes from the movie, which I think those costumes look terrible, but that's my personal opinion. And that's about it. Oh no, Iron Man, Infinity War. We got the Infinity in-game Iron Man with the you know. I thought he had the Infinity Gauntlet in one of the costumes, but I don't really see that. Maybe that's a secret skin you gotta earn. But yeah, you got skins from the movie with him. Um, yeah, so I don't understand why you can't have Sentry out in the mix. And I need Sentry to be that. I need him to have um, that thing work from the air. Because think about it. All right, Netties. I know you have no reason to listen to me. I'm not a big, YouTuber, or Twitch, Marvel Rivals player. I'm not super duper uh, califragilis, galactus, alidocious, celestial. But hear me out. Sentry. Make him like Hulk. Okay? Start him off as Bob. Then he's got to transform or build up enough confidence. Build up enough confidence, and then transform into the Sentry. And either for the Void, either make that his third form or just have him do a Void finisher in the radius of the area. Even have it where, like Doctor Strange, where if he doesn't disperse the negative energy, it can turn into like a type of count against you or something. I forgot what the full effect of that is with Doctor Strange in the game, but something similar to that. If you don't dispel the energy, but we need the Sentry. I need the Sentry more than I need Gambit or Rogue, more than I need Angela, more than I need Daredevil. The Sentry needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? Get Bob a gun. Get Bob, on the scene. Let the Sentry work. And my team will go from the 6 to the 7. And my work will be complete. Let's make that happen. All right, moving on. So, what else we got? We're going to go ahead and wrap up with a little bit of talk of this movie called Don't Look Up. I know it's been out for a while. I've been out for a while. In fact, I think it came out, 2020 or 2022? I was out of the country during that time. So, and without Netflix. So, there was a choice. I don't want to be accused of supporting cuties. You know, that was the last narrative I heard of. That foolishness. Which still haven't seen that movie, so nor do I have any desire to see it. But Don't Look Up. Like I said, it covered three aspects to which I didn't know that movie was multi-layered in the way that it was. At first, I thought it was just a goofy comedy. Hey, some scientists found out there's a meteor that's headed towards Earth. Let's talk to the president about it. Let's warn the president. Oh, the president could care less. Oh, damn, what are we gonna do? You know, president that was so into herself that she was basically let me put it this way: the whole movie pretty much covered a number of real life people in the area of politics. So, as my friend Levi Skeens stated, it's like the who's who. But like I said, at first I thought it was really goofy, um, even a little too goofy for me. But then I noticed once they started getting intertwined with the media and social media being a factor too, playing into a lot of people's responses. Um, it had a lot of layers to it. And I was like, damn, this movie's pretty deep, showing the inner workings of how administrations work or could work, um, what gets attention and what doesn't. What doesn't. Now, my focus is strictly just talking about the movie, but the movie does cover politics. And one of my favorite shows on Netflix, even though I know the guy's not likable, but he's a great actor. I gotta give credit. Kevin Spacey, House of Cards. It's one of my favorite shows on Netflix. I watched that show all the way to its end. A very unfortunate end, but an end nonetheless. But yeah, started from goofy, then to um, lessons being taught about propaganda and how things have to be marketable. And I think, was it the guy that was in there that was like the Elon Musk slash Steve Jobs type of guy, or Tim Cook type of dude? Um, he had a pretty interesting take on a lot of stuff, and I think he had some hidden messages in there as well. The way he presented himself kind of reminded me of Tom Hanks in the movie The Circle, which was based on a novel. That I thought was a very good movie that taught a valuable lesson about too much social media dependence and how it changes people. You know, so yeah, with this movie, we got into a little semi-serious with the embed politics, and then also the other factor of compromises to get ahead. You know, how one scientist, you have two scientists revealing a stark truth, but one gets shunned because she she was kind of emotional about the situation because they weren't being taken serious, or because he was calm and collect and kind of couldn't get his words together. They worked with him. The media was willing to work with him and polish him to be that guy, to reassure people. And that's what, according to the. I'm sorry to say this. I really am. But look, in that movie, um, the amount of people that was so freaking dumb, they deserve the damn meteor. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but hey, it's fiction. It's a movie. But the level of stupidity that people had on average, oh man, it was really bad. Really bad. It was kind of starting to annoy me, but I pushed on through. I pushed on through. The ending was a very good reflection or opportunity to reflect on the trials, the failures, and triumphs of humanity. And what's the best thing, or what would you do in your last moments? I think that was a very key thing. And the other world planet thing, that that was a that was a icing on the cake. A little silliness to see all those elite get what's coming to them and stuff like that. So it's a very zigzag movie. It's very hard to keep track whether it was, in the beginning it was silly, and then it was serious, and then it got super serious, so, and then it got silly down to the last wire. Closing time, let's get silly, you know. But my personal take on it, I think it has some very valuable lessons in it, especially in the middle. Seeing the compromises in technology and influences that people have um, on legislation and voting, the controllers behind the scenes, type of puppet masters from behind the scenes. Very interesting movie. Um, I do thank Levi Skeen for recommending it. There's probably some things that I still need to find out because it had a lot going on. Even some of the words that were being said is just boom, 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 boom. They said snuck it out so fast. It's like, wait a minute. So much stuff need time to process. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting movie. Um, Still not watching Superman. I refuse to. It's not gonna happen. I won't do it. Not even if it was free. If I was on a flight and they had Superman playing, that'd be the best sleep of my life since Constantine. And Constantine, I end up stopped falling asleep on it because it was like the greatest movie ever about deporting demons in LA. Go figure. So yeah, that's pretty much the show, ladies and gentlemen. For anyone that does enjoy what I do, I thank you. Um, if not, life moves on. Part of this is therapeutic for me because I work a lot and I do. Well, I've been streaming since before YouTube had the ability to stream. I used to just stream on Twitch. That was like, oh gosh, like 20, like 2018, somewhere around there. So I've been streaming for a long time. Unfortunately, Twitch forced me to get rid of a lot of my old stuff because they want to switch to, you know, reducing the amount of storage that you could put on here. But nonetheless, hey, I've been doing this for a long time. I know I'll never get monetized on YouTube, and that's fine with me. YouTube's gonna YouTube. Um, it's more of them two than YouTube. It's got not much for me. But I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. That's why I work hard to help fund those things, and I'll give it my best. And hopefully, I have my next comic book out soon. Long overdue. But I made preparations to improve my skills, and that's a subject for another day. As an artist, how far are you willing to go to improve your skills? How much time are you willing to take? Are you going to present to people, hey, this is what I got, and just hope they get it because you know a lot of people and you're popular, or because your art is actually really good? People have their choice for what they purchase stuff, and that's their choice. Absolutely. Um, I've provided many opportunities for new and upcoming artists to have my support. I'm no one special, but I am cognizant of how I spend my dollars. I can't spend it all on entertainment because there's a war in America right now going on, and I got to stay vigilant. So I do what I can with the time that I have, and I got to go on with the rest of my life. That's one of the reasons why I can't be doing live streams for like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and then have like 30 people on the panel. I used to do that. I did that already. And at my age, I got about 20 good years left. I really have to choose my time wisely. You know, how I spend it and who I spend it with. You know, no offense, but sharing my life with the world, yeah, nah, that ain't happening. I'm here for the arts, a little bit of commentary, some insight, some inspiration, brainstorming, creativity, and that's it. Why? Because you got to make sure that you love those that are in your life. Treat every day like it's your last. And if someone else tells you tomorrow is promise, remember it's a setup. I'm Rob Wilson, and I'm out.
Hey, Claudius. You killed my father. Big mistake.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.